Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind Podcast. Today's podcast, episode number 267. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Book Insight Friday, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite parts of being an author. So, I'm going to share a few things, and it's going to be fun. So, let's get to it. Number one, I write for a living, and I'm not fully retired from corporate America, but for the past few years, I've been able to just really write great stories, fulfilling content, and enjoy, what I do. And it's really been fun. Number two, I write what I love, which is social issues. Social issues affect us on an everyday basis, whether it's directly or indirectly. We know someone who has been through domestic violence. We know someone who has struggled with mental health. We know someone who, deals, with, addictions. So, either we know someone directly or indirectly. There's so many things that, I get to talk about. And I write about so many different subjects. I'm not fixated on one specific thing, so that's another beautiful thing. Number three, my books can reach millions of people. And when I published my first book, I was like, wait a minute. The whole world really has access to, this one book, And that's, when I started my journey on Amazon, which I'm not on anymore. You guys know the reason why, for those who have listened along the way. And then when I decided to expand and I wanted to publish my books on Apple and Barnes & Nobles and Kobo and, the book libraries and things of that nature, I went to Draft2Digital, and now I really expanded myself and got my books really out there to the masses. So the fact that my books can reach millions, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. The next thing, I do everything myself. Now, what does that mean? That means I write my books, I edit and proofread them. Most of my book covers I make on my own. I format my books. I write the synopsis on the back of the books. I write my own author bio. I decide on the pricing of my book. I decide on how I'm marketing my book. I decide on what platforms I'm going to have them on. I decide on, whether I'm going to do, book reduction, sales and stuff like that. So those are things that I really enjoy, doing. It's a process. The editing and proofreading, that's the only part that's not fun. Especially when I write really long books, I'm just like, oh my goodness, did I really decide to write this book this long and now I gotta sit and edit it? Oh my goodness. I might take on the idea that one author had said that you edit as you write, as you go along, but sometimes when my mind is in that zone, I just want to keep writing. I don't want to stop and then edit and then lose my flow, but I don't know. I may try it one day. I'll see. But like I said, I get to do everything myself. Everything's on me. I decide things. I control my narrative. It's fun. The next part, creating this podcast where I talk about my journey. When I started this podcast, for those who don't know, I was talking about a lot of things going on in the world. And then I got tired of it. It's constantly talking about all the negativity that's going on and all the plans that's going on with the NWO. For those who know, you know. Anyway, when I started this podcast, that was the goal, talk about the world. And then I revamped my podcast and rebranded and, kept the same podcast name, but made a decision to go about talking about my journey as an author. I kind of did some research on other authors and their podcasts, and a lot of them constantly talk about marketing your books and how you get yourself to bestseller status and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really feel like talking about all that. even if I was a best-selling author, or even if I do become a best-selling author, I don't care about talking about all that. I want to talk about my journey and why I do it and why I love what I do. And this is the perfect opportunity and platform to do that. So I wanted to make sure that I stood out from the crowd, did something different, and enjoyed what I did with this podcast. I'm on year 3 of talking about my journey as an author, so pretty much delving into all the books that I've written. You guys know this. Motivating people, inspiring you guys. I'm talking about things that are on my mind, and it's been very exciting to just be creative and be innovative in what I'm doing with this podcast. It's something different. Even the title of my podcast is different. It's like, well, what is this podcast about? And then when you find out and then you start listening, you go, oh, okay, cool. And I don't have commercials. My podcasts are between 10 and 15 minutes. Sometimes they go a little bit longer when there's more that I want to talk about. And it's easy. It's easy to do. It's very efficient. I can record a lot of podcasts, ahead of time, which helps me. And that's part of the journey. Just making sure that you're having fun at all times, right? Being creative and innovative with books and social media content, that is the next favorite part of me being an author. When I decided to start this journey, as a writer and an author and things of that nature, I'm also a poet, but I don't, go on stage and start reciting poetry. Like, no, that's just, the written word is awesome and it's great and people do a wonderful job of that, but I just don't feel the need to do that. Maybe I'll do it one day. I mean, there's plenty of poetry slams in my city. There's like at least 3 to 4 of them a month. And there's a chance I may do it. I may do something original, something outside of the norm of what I normally write. I don't know. I'll see. But anyway, the point is that not only am I being creative and innovative with writing my books in a prose format and not going the traditional way and having all this dialogue and all that stuff. Yeah, I can read it. I can't write it. So I'm very honest with myself and I'm very comfortable in knowing that I can write books a certain way and it's engaging and it keeps people, fully immersed into the content that I am writing about and sharing as far as the story goes. With social media content, I like to change it up. Sometimes you'll get a post and you'll hear a voiceover of me. Sometimes you'll see me on camera. Sometimes you'll get a slideshow of things that, with my books. You get long videos on YouTube. You get the short videos on YouTube. You get the short, which are YouTube shorts. You get the quick short videos on TikTok, Instagram. They become Instagram reels. Because for me, it's just about creating quick videos, getting to the point. Attention spans are just not there anymore. It just depends on the person, but to be brutally honest, everyone just wants something quick, fast, to the point. Okay, I like it, cool, next video. So I'm just not that person that wants to sit and do long videos all the time. I do try my best to do longer videos on YouTube for those of the older generation that want to fully immerse themselves and really watch a video. But when you start getting to the younger audiences, kind of like the people my age in the 40s, 30s, and 20s, it's just like you got to be quick with it. Got to draw people in, get people's attention, keep it for a minute, and that's it. And then you keep it going. And sometimes people will follow you literally just for those videos. And that's what's happened to me on YouTube. I post the shorter videos and people are just on there just to see my short videos. They are not, they don't have a care in the world for the 7-minute video that I took my time on recording and creating a nice little thumbnail for. People don't care for that stuff. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm cool with it. I adjust accordingly, and that's just, what I do. So those are a few things of, my favorite parts of being an author. I am all about enjoying the journey, having fun with it. And I hope you guys figure out your passions, your love, what you love to do, and you guys go after it and then keep going with it. So just wanted to give you that for today. That's my podcast for today. I thank you guys for listening as always. Enjoy your weekends. TheAquariumMindPodcast.com. You guys know where to find me. Be good, everyone, and go accomplish your goals.